Hey, this is Notser, and once again, we're taking a look at Project Cold War. This time, we're taking a look at HSTV-L as an agent. This one will end up probably being the last agent that I showcase, and it's because the loadout. Now, let's take a look at the loadout. Very, very exciting. No upgrades, no perks. Consumables are pretty much the standard consumables that you expect. Okay. So it's really just about the features of this agent, which are hit and run, hitting 6 enemies 6 times. Well, hit enemies, it probably should say hit enemies 6 times to cut your reload time in half. So that enhances the follow up autoloader, which takes about 7 seconds to reload. So the follow up drum is going to be faster. So that's nice. And then you have B-52 Bomber. This one is not what they say. It's actually more of like a, I don't know, like a fighter shooting off anti-ground missiles from pretty close range. So yeah, I don't know why it's called B-52 Bomber. Probably gonna change its name at some point. And then artillery screen, smoke screen. So this puts a smoke screen curtain in the way, which will prevent players from seeing through. But yeah, overall, there's nothing else to talk about because there's literally nothing else here. It's an auto-loading, really small, fast fire support tank that has an ability that can almost one-shot if it lands in the right spot. So yeah, let's take a look at that gameplay and see what we have here. All right, so HSTV-L on Conquest aircraft carrier, actually. This will end up being the final aircraft carrier video that I have. I was able to get 3 or 4 games total, 1 in Punch, 1 in Phantom, and 1 in HSLTV. So this is a weird one. This agent is the smallest tank in the game. It is an autoloader tank. It has a very powerful ability with a really long cooldown. And then it can also put up a smoke curtain. So you could conceivably block an entire area's view of the map so that you can have movement or you can conceal a large area. So both of those abilities are very useful, and here is the B-52 Bomber. It's clearly not a B-52 Bomber. But yeah, as you activate it, it kind of flies over your position, and you get 2 guided missiles. It can be very effective. I did have a game where I activated it on Nord, and I caught a player completely out in the open and killed him 100-0 at the beginning of the game. So it can be really powerful to change the dynamic. And the autoloader unloads pretty quickly, and it honestly reloads pretty quickly. Yeah, no big deal. You're super tiny and you don't do a lot, but if you focus on crit locations, you can really hammer enemies down. Really good at farming crits. So if you needed like to unlock or do 5 crits, and yeah, here, let me use the curtain. Curtain's got a long build-up time before it's actually placed in the world. So it's not a good defensive ability. You end up having to deal with the fact that you can't get the smoke that will cover you up quick enough. So we're just going to head out, and this time we'll check out A point, which is under conflict for some reason. Wonder which enemy is there. I can easily use my B-52. So well, hopefully they name it something different because it's not a B-52. I can easily use my guided missiles. But yeah, if you activate it near an objective, you can easily fly it and pilot it like straight in and then follow up with your own gun system and knock them out. It's a really good ability. It has a really long cooldown, but it's really effective. And oh, hello there. You're a big ugly. Please give me pin. Yes. The biggest tank versus the smallest tank. Oh, don't. I want to get by. All right, cool. These are 2 bots. I guarantee they're bots because they don't know how to play. So we're just gonna mess with them. Works really well. When you hit, I think 6 shells, you get that hit and run. And I'm like, they're playing too weird. I don't really care about them. So instead of continuing to deal with the bot players, I just decide, they're not really that exciting. But we could try missile on them. It's not the easiest to pilot, and the window is very short. So yeah, trying to look for an angle to fire underneath the carrier, maybe not the best way to deal with that problem. The carrier conceals a lot of airborne abilities as you can drive around it. It's just so funny to me that people do this. Like, why not actually play it or not play it? Why would you write a bot or download a bot just so you can sit idle in a closed alpha and get almost no XP? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But, you know, that's their choice. We entered the restricted area trying to get back to the enemies that overlook A point. And I believe there is like artillery or fire support over here. Oh, it's me! It's a little me. Just trying to maintain good angle so he can't hit us. He unloaded it all. Oh, he thinks he can get away. No, 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 little man. There's nowhere to go there. I don't know. That wasn't an exit. Nice. Finish that guy off. A point is being captured by the enemy. Make sure we fully reload. Easily crit him from that location.
You're dead wrong.
You're dead wrong.
We should be able to recap A point. It's pushing the turret of the tank. I'm aware of 2 enemy tanks that are still alive down there, so I'm like, oh god, okay. I don't know why people are focusing on them, but we're just gonna finish it.
One blow too heavy for them.
It's really dumb to like give the time of day to bots, but whatever. We'll just finish them off and then head back up to A point. Maybe even use my ability since it's gonna fly over.
You all right in there? Don't think so.
Oh, wait for our enemy, a friendly. Ken, get out of the way, Ken. Oh, there's 3 on the bridge. So what we can do is sit in the contest position, and we can activate our drop. And maybe we can knock out at least one of the tanks that are contesting A point. Looks like our enemy just barely survived a missile barrage there. Super tiny. Where are you going? Something's moving right there. Just trying to get out. No, get away. Oh, you're big and ugly. Big and ugly. We're gonna put our smoke curtain. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. So it's about 3 seconds that it takes to put the smoke out. And I honestly am not impressed with its coverage. It just doesn't work as well as I envisioned for this ability. If I could, you know, critique it, I would probably just make it a better ability that fully conceals. Because, you know, other than using your B-52 bomber, which is what they call it right now, other than using the dual missile ability, we really don't have anything but our guns. So it would be nice if the smoke curtain was a more viable option for you and your team. Enemy Reaper's on the bridge, and now he's gone. The ability is fun. It's very powerful. And because it's very powerful, I almost expect them not to buff any aspect of the tank. Because it is the smallest tank in the game. It has probably the fastest auto-loading in the game. And yeah, these two bots. I hate these two bots. And then its ability is probably the strongest ability, single ability in the game. And it has, I think it has the longest reload. I think 70 seconds. And I'm not sure if you can enhance. No, you can't actually. There's no upgrades for it. So at some point in the future, they will offer enhancements. I'm just killing these bots. I'm just tired of people dealing with them and giving them more focus. But we'll just come up here and fire on the side. Yeah, you gotta focus on me or him. Oh, there's a low health target behind him. Nice. Go for the crits. That's the way HSTV-L works the best. Looks like they got the friendly taken out there, so that's good. Alright, so we're just going to head over towards another base, and hopefully we can do some work for our team. Just taking a look. And, you know, the ability basically flies to your location. So you kind of just need to drive yourself to a location to use the ability. It's not one of those abilities that you can be on a different side of the map and have an impact on the opposite side like that AC-130 ability that Chopper used to have. So you really have to place yourself in... what the hell are you doing here? Well, that's one way to use the elevator. So yeah, if your tank somehow flips over, and this game has a self-righting flip, you will blow up instantly. Oh, that poor Adam. I didn't even have to do anything. He just did it all to himself. Make sure you are 100%, and nope, you can't slip by there. Make sure you're 100% all the way on the elevator so that you won't fall down and instantly die. So we're going to take B point, and it's going to take an eternity. Take a look at this little tiny tank. It's so cool how small and compact it is. It does make it to where, because of how small it is, I don't think they're going to make the ability work any better. It's going to just require that you take yourself to the problem, in my opinion. But we're finally capturing, and oh boy, our best friend's back. He's back to fall down another elevator. And I'm just giving up on the conflict. Miss. We're going to dive off this. Woohoo! So, hopefully everyone can tell. If you go for B, then it gives you spotting advantage, an elevated spotting advantage. You can also fire from there. But then you can easily transition straight down to A point. So if you're going for A, you might as well head for B first, because you can easily have B then A. You can't go A to B. And even when the level changes, you can't go from A to B, but you can always go B to A. Got a friendly punch over here. We're gonna head up and see. Oh, hello, Mr. Adam. He wants to fight on elevators. Okay. And that's all because he flipped his tank. He didn't fall down some crevice. It's just because the game has such quirky physics on keeping a tank up. I guess if a tank is flipped on its back like a turtle, it'll just instantly blow up. And that's the second time the Atom died to the elevator boss on this level. You got to be very careful. Obviously, it's a work in progress, so they could change 100 things here. But I like the idea of fighting on an aircraft carrier and having to deal with the elevators. You can drive through all of these aircraft. They aren't actually physical objects. At some point, they probably will be, that will be destructible, and maybe they'll leave their carcass so you can use it as cover. But yeah, right now,
A victory
you can
for
shoot
us
through
is a
them
win for
like
all
they're
mankind.
a window or something. But hey, that was the first game showcasing HSTV-L. And yeah, not bad, not bad. So,
Didn't start
in
the
this
fire,
one, we've got a
so it's our
plant
duty to
and
put it down.
defuse scenario. It's very different because obviously you don't get respawn. One of the best things about respawn in this game is your abilities are refreshed when you die. So if you immediately use a really long cooldown, 70-second B-52 bomber, and then you immediately die, your subsequent spawn, you will have it back up again. I don't know if they'll leave that in the game because B-52 is pretty strong. Man, I just wish they would call it a different thing because that's already what Titan uses. But the ability for this tank is very strong, and it works really well at damaging targets. And speaking of damaging targets, we catch sight of one over by A point, and we're going to confirm his location. We're going to guide some missiles into his body. Not bad. Nice. He actually died to, I think, a fire on his tank. Now, we're basically not going to have that ability for the rest of the match, but whooped. Whoa, we are absolutely the pirouette into the double somersault and stick the landing, and we're going to plant right now. Of course, they contest that. That's okay. So, since we got contested, we're just going to move around the map and locate an enemy that's engaged and fire on his rear. We're really tiny, we're really fast and agile. It's very satisfying to drive this around just because of how small and stealthy it can be. And yep, got the chopper. Gonna try and fire on his engine or his final drive. He's probably freaking out from all the crits. And we're just gonna follow him in. Note, our ability is back up, which is great. We can easily use it against a second person. And I think, honestly, we're going to take a little bit of a cover. And we'll hopefully use it. Just double checking that no one seems to be coming. And once we confirm, we're just going to enter into the ability. And, oh, someone immediately came around. And we're going to have to deal with him because he's obviously focusing on us or a teammate right next to us. Do great damage, and we finish off the target. All that's left is one fire support on the enemy team. But yeah, it works pretty well. Again, the curtain leaves a lot to be desired. It doesn't work quite as well as the other ability. But this is the only curtain spawning tank currently in the game, I think. And, the immediate expectation is that it's a team-focused ability, which it is, but it has such a large build-up that I think what they envisioned is they don't want it to replace sort of the instantaneous smoke canister around your tank for defense. I think they envision it as sort of a pre-prepped area that once you establish it there, then the team can use it to their advantage. So maybe the upgrades will allow you to focus more on the support side versus the damage dealing side. Maybe they will let you focus more on damage dealing, either in your guns or the ability. Who knows? But we win that one. So now we're on defense. And yeah, I think the ability is really strong. And as long as you survive, you can usually kill one person with your ability plus your auto-loading clip. So we head out. I don't know exactly where I want to go, whether I want to defend A or defend B. I just want to be able to go to either if I see someone trying to plant. And I deliberately want to avoid making it obvious that I'm driving around this area, so I don't want to like drive over objects and blow them up. Do a quick check of the map to see where my team is deployed, if they see anyone. Look how short we are. Oh, 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 it looks like they're coming A. Looks like they're coming A. Okay, we can get in cover. Activate. Very easy to get into a short cover and still be hidden. But we need to do this because this is the best way to guarantee that we will have... guarantee that we will have good location to attack. Because again, it basically flies over your location. So you need to drive up to an area that's roughly where a known enemy is in order to maximize that ability. Now the enemy team is over at B point. That blitz is no longer in the map. And it's so tough. You know, it's tough that abilities are really high damage in a plant versus diffuse single life scenario, because getting one target out of the match can be the difference between winning and losing, literally, because now you have a player that you can't manage by having an equal body. So then you have to change your tactics and maybe you have the wrong agent to do a 1 versus 1 or a 1 versus 2, right? So it's just important to keep the numbers in your favor, and I think the abilities on this tank work well at knocking out at least one. And teammate finishes them off. We defend the base successfully, and now there's only one enemy agent left. So yeah, I think the agent has some interesting mechanics. I almost feel like this the ability that currently exists should be this way after upgrades, not before upgrades. I would shudder to think what an upgraded ability would look like, because I can almost single-handedly one-shot almost all fire support, a handful of attackers. So it's very high damage, and again, I can do it from safe cover, whereas, for example, Ray, if Ray was doing the build-up shot, Ray would be not in safe cover. You could return fire because Ray would have to fire on you. So it's okay for one thing to one-shot if the player gives up their life for it, whereas I'm doing this from the safety of my, my little hidey hole. I don't really feel threatened at all when I'm in it. I think the ability lasts for like 10 to 20 seconds, if not. So you can afford to pause for 10 to 20 seconds to use something that's that powerful, right? And it's just such a small agent that it's very easy to do just that. So no one seems to be in this area, and I'm ramping off of these ramps. So I decide I could go for A, certainly, or I could go around B. Teammates are starting to lose health over by B point, so I estimate that there must be enemy tanks that are engaged with them. So if they are engaged with my team, they will be very vulnerable. Actually, no, they are not. They are all AFK. Plant Defuse strikes again. Well, at least we can show off the ability usage again. And you can see that the splash radius, it's not very large, so it's kind of a single tank damage ability. But it obviously works very well at that, so I don't see anyone complaining about it. And yeah, third and final round. HSTV-L. An interesting little tiny agent that I can't wait to see more development towards. If you like the video, please leave in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful day.